4-star charity and an A-plus rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network. We are broadcasting live from John Adams High School here on the campus in South Bend, Indiana. I'll get that right. Paul County, Ryan Lutz, glad you could join us here today. Our coverage today being presented in part by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group, as well as several other great friends, but we're glad that you hop along with us. Our first TV broadcast of the season got me off a little on my game there, Ryan. But the Adams Eagles coming in with a record of 9 wins and 6 losses. The Penn Kingsmen coming in with a record of 9 wins and 7 losses. Pivotal game for both teams. Adams 0-3 in the Northern Indiana Conference. The Kingsmen at 3-0. A lot depending upon what's going to be going on here today. Look at the Northern Indiana standings right now here. And looking at where we're at tonight here on this last day of January. Elkhart will be at St. Joe. Riley is at New Prairie. Washington is at Marion. That game is also being broadcast television on Regional Radio Sports with our live stream. So we feel that we're in a good place right here, right now with Northern Indiana Conference basketball. I'm excited to see how this Penn team does, how they respond after their loss against Northridge. And always great to see my friend Chad Johnson. He is a former Bethel guy, and as you well know, as the longtime voice of the Pilots, it's always good to be able to get a chance to see his teams play. But excited about here to Friday night. The weather's been much more fun to be around, just to get out and about and do some things. But your thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I'll say this, and I mean this in the nicest of compliments. Barrett Kuhlman, the head coach of the Penn Kingsmen, and Chad Johnson, the head coach of South Bend Adams, were two of my least favorite coaches to play against when I was playing in high school. Barrett, obviously, at Valpo High School when I was in high school, and Chad was actually the head coach of South Bend, Washington, and some of their incredible runs that they had back in the 2010 eras. And so I mean that in the nicest way. These are two of the best coaches in the area, and I'm excited to watch two well-coached teams tonight. I've been really impressed with how the growth of this Penn Kingsman team. I got to call some of their games early on, and then I got to call most recently their South Bend St. Joe upset over the number 1 3A South Bend St. Joe, and you've just seen a lot of growth, not only out of their young players, but even out of their older players stepping more into their element. And I think you could say a similar thing about South Bend Adams. They got off to a really quick start and have kind of found its level a little bit, but they're hoping to turn the ship back around. And they have some veteran leaders, some juniors and seniors that I'm really excited to watch play as well. And so two well-coached teams, uber competitive game tonight. It's always fun to be here on the campus of South Bend Adams, as you say, Paul. This gym, one of my favorite gym and venues in Northern Indiana. I hated playing here because it was such a home court advantage I felt for Adams, and so I'm interested to see how that plays into the scouting report tonight, Paul.
Yeah, they call it the Eagle's Nest for a reason, because it goes up and there's all kinds of crooks and crannies throughout the course of the infrastructure here, and of course we're glad to be able to bring this one to you here today. Two Bethel guys are going to be coaching up here today. I don't know if it's going to be like we did the other night when we were at the Northridge Penn game, where I believe there was 9 different Bethel Pilots in the building. And it felt like, for me, it was like a Bethel reunion. I know that right now we have at least, with Jake Parker, Will Kramer, you, me, Chad, and Dirk, so we know we got at least 6 here in the building, and there could be more. And of course, Tiny Country's a member of the Bethel Hall of Fame too, so we call it
Brady
7.
Bechtel.
Yeah, Brady Bechtel played in Bethel for a year. So, yeah, a lot of guys going on there. All right, we're glad that you joined us here today. We're going to take our first time out, and we'll come back and we'll get everything going with our pregame show. And we'll get to our interviews. I have extended interviews tonight with Barrett Kuhlman at Penn High School, as well as Chad Johnson. We'll have a sneak peek of what's going on in the Northern Indiana Conference, as well as some other things going on around high school basketball in the Hoosier State. So stick around. I think you're going to enjoy tonight's affair here tonight from the Eagles Nest at John Adams High School in South Bend. We'll be back right after this short timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
Your Chevy event is on now. And start your new year with a bang. Bigger Chevy selection. Bigger Chevy savings. More for your trade. Upgrade your ride and get up to $10,000 off new Silverados. Or rates as low as 0% and don't pay till spring. It's a new year. Drive home a 24 Equinox for $279 a month. Banks are on full credit alert for this event. The Upgrade Your Chevy event is on now. Only at Gates, Mishawaka, and South Bend.
Oh, boy.
Develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Ryan Lutz. Great to have the former Penn great with me here today. And, of course, we're excited about bringing you high school basketball. High school basketball today being presented in part by our great friends, including Eric Gunther, State Farm Insurance, the Lillard Agency, Beef O'Brady's, as Penn has jumped out to a 4-point lead with 7 seconds to go in the junior varsity game. And it will remain that. And the Penn Junior Varsity a winner here tonight by the score of 45-41. Also, our game is being presented in part by our friends at Cuban Networks, Clover Machinery Movers, McDonald Physical Therapy, A's Event Rental, Harris & Sons Construction, all bringing you today's game. And, of course, special thanks goes out to Clover Machinery Movers. They've been amazing sponsors over the many, many years. And once again, we want to thank them for their great support. They're located at 3521 North Home Street in Mishawaka. We appreciate them underwriting a portion of our game today. They've been serving the industry since 1948. Clover Machinery Movers is fully equipped and insured for machinery moving, rigging, hauling. They can move one machine or relocate an entire plant. And they also offer their customers heated storage facilities. Their phone number is 574-255-3195. And they're on the web at clovermachinerymovers.com. And also kudos go out to my buddy Matt Lillard and the Lillard Insurance Agency. Real people, real service, real value. Don't forget Matt and the gang. They put your life back to help you put your life back together with auto, home, life, business. Over 35 years serving Michiana. Great insurance at fair prices, and a special thanks to them. Regional Radio Sports Network has been a client at the Lillard Insurance Agency for 35 years. Wow. And I can tell you that without question. When Randy Lillard was a member of the school board, was also there. Big fan of what they're doing there. All right, the Kingsmen have come out onto the floor. The Eagles are going to be joining us here momentarily. But before we get to our coaches' interviews, I wanted to get a quick thought here from you, Ryan. Where we are at is up here in the Crow's Nest, here at Eagles Nest, if you will. I should have called it the Eagles Nest, not the Crow's Nest. But what's so interesting is the overhang of the balcony right underneath the band over there. There's a little bit of a shadowing. As a former player, how does that affect you shooting on which, from our vantage point, from our viewers' vantage point, from left to right, so it would be under the right gymnasium basket? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it threw me off a little bit. I think there's a reason that's the visiting team's second half basket. Like, I think they're pretty strategic about that. There is a bit of an overhang, a little bit of a shadow. Honestly, the whole court, when you're on the floor, it feels very similar to Assembly Hall down in Bloomington, Indiana, where it feels like the bleachers are kind of coming on top of you. It's somewhat of a steep incline. There's the student section is basically on the floor, and so it's a really unique Indiana high school basketball environment. But yeah, the overhang definitely can be an excuse for some shooters. But you know, Paul, like I tell you all the time, my dad used to always say, you can make shots, you can make excuses, you get to choose.
And there's no question about it. I spent some time with Chad Johnson and Barrett Kuhlman, and I got Chad's thoughts on today's game.
High school buckets here today. South Bend Adams hosting the Penn Kingsmen. Great to be here with the former Bethel great, Chad Johnson. And I started with the Bethel stuff tonight especially because what a great night the other night at Bethel with the reunion of the 1995 NAI National Championship team, a team that only lost 2 games. What a special moment for them to recognize all the guys and the coaches on the team. And What a special moment in your life, right?
Yeah, it sure was. It was great to see those guys again. A lot of times we correspond through text and other forms of communication, but it was really nice to catch up with them in towards the end of the girls' game, just to catch up to see how their family was doing, their work, how their life's going. So just nice to get one-on-one with those guys that I haven't seen or don't talk to on a weekly basis. It was just really special.
All right, well, take me back to the memories of that moment in time. I mean, it's got to be something that you live with and think about, I would think, almost weekly.
Yeah, and I really, not the game so much. Me and Mark were talking about this. It's more so after practice, sitting in the locker room, sitting after showering, going to get something to eat, those type of things, hanging out on the weekends, road trips, going to Florida, all those type of things, those stick out to me more than the games. I don't know why, but just communicating with those guys and talking with, I don't really remember too many single games, but Mark and I and the other guys that were there really talk about different things throughout our time there. So it was really special.
Okay, Dad, I'm going to ask you to put the dad on hat here. How fun is it hanging out with Carter Johnston?
It's really a lot of fun. Gives me goosebumps when we go to practice. I don't take it for granted. We had my other son here a year or so ago, and I really liking coaching him. And one of the coaches asked me the other day, "How do you like doing it?" He goes, "Who else would you rather coach your son but yourself?" And I think that makes a really good point. I kind of demand a lot out of him. He's held to a little bit higher standard, but he's reaching those, and he's really enjoying it too as well.
So you can really appreciate what Barrett Coleman's going through right now with his kid being in ninth grade. He's a pretty talented kid for a kid who's 15 years old.
Yeah, very special. He's as long as he continues to get better, the sky's the limit for him. He doesn't get rattled. Coach Lightfoot and I were talking about that. He kind of just stays in his lane and does his job. So it's really nice to see a freshman do that.
All right, we win the first 8 games. Lose the next 6 and come back and bounce back with a win. So it's almost been a tale of 2 streaks. What was good about the first 8? What was bad about the second 6?
Sure. What was good about the first 8? Everybody has juice early. Everybody's ready to go and just amped up for the season. Get on a 2, 3, 4, 5 win, and it ended up being an 8-win streak. So everybody stayed together. And the worst part of everything, and I hate to say this, but everybody stayed together with this in practice, in our meetings, in our film sessions. Everybody's staying positive. So I put on the board the other day, Paul, that it started out really sunny. There's some clouds and some rains, a little thunderstorms right now, but the sun and the rainbow is going to come out toward the month of February. So our focus is pretty good, and I hope we can translate it to the Florida night.
Okay, well, let's talk about this Penn team. What concerns you about this group?
Yeah, they're really well balanced. I mean, obviously the freshman, Coleman's really good, but they have really good role players that work around him, and they have some good shooters. And they have height, which we haven't seen since we went to Huntington, the type of height they have. So getting a rebound is a huge emphasis. And I talked to the kids about just getting your hands on the ball. They're out, their height is 10 times more than ours is, but just being aggressive and getting rebounds is what we've really stressed tonight.
When I talked to Barrett, he says, conversely, just the opposite. I'm concerned about having to play 4 really talented guards like they're going to have to do to try to match up. So it's got to be kind of a little bit of a war of the wills, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. They got to match up with us, and we got to match up with them. But rebounding, I think, is going to be key from our standpoint, and just getting our hands on it, not giving second, third chances.
Tell me about Jarvis Tolbert. I know you're pretty high on him, and the numbers bear himself out. 21 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal in every game.
Yeah, and he'll probably hit 1,000 in the next 4 or 5 games. He's really close. He's just a great kid off the floor. 3.7 student, 3.6, 3.7 student, really works really hard, cares about the game, loves the game, puts extra time in. So I'm really looking forward and glad we have him for another year as well. So I think his sky's the limit. And the main thing with him is we keep on talking about improving every year, getting better at what you're not good at. So we've really emphasized his faults so he can work on those.
You've been in this Northern Indiana Conference in 2 separate places in Washington and, of course, here at Adams. And I don't recall this league being as deep as it is currently right now. I mean, once again, I haven't been in this league as long as you have, so tell me if I'm just seeing things.
No, you're 100% right. And it depends on the classes, right, Paul? So you go and look around the city or in the conference, even Penn or wherever. This is a really good class of kids, seniors and juniors. So that's a really good mix. You might get a freshman class and it has one or two in the conference, but that group coming as a freshman, I thought the seniors going to be really good, as well as a junior class. So I think it's a combination of having a good class all around the city as well as outside in the conference.
Final question. What do you have to do to win?
Yeah. Well, we have to take care of the ball. That's one of the things we really have to do. We have to rebound. Those two key things are very, very important. We have 15 or less, or between 10 and 15 turnovers, we do really well. When it gets to 17, 18, we're not valuing the ball. We don't have the firepower to have 3 or 4 guys in double figures. We have to be very selective with our shooting, and the last thing is 100% we have to rebound.
I know you don't know this, but a win tonight moves you 100 games over 500. That's a lot. That would make you 312 and 212. That would be outstanding. Congratulations.
I didn't know that, but that's one thing I'm in this for is kids. It's not my record, and you know that, Paul, but that's nice to know, and it's just records.
All right, buddy. Great to see you.
Great seeing you. Thank you.
We'll be
Tonight's broadcast on Regional Radio Sports Network is presented by Harris & Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, interior and exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harris & Sons Construction, the phone number is 574-514-2104.
Welcome once again here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul County with Barrett Kuhlman. Prior to today's game, the Penn Kingsmen matched up against the Adams Eagles here today in the Northern Indiana Conference. Barrett, first of all, I thought, looking back on the game against Northridge earlier in the week, first of all, they are a tremendous basketball team, very talented, very experienced. You can really, really see that in the way they played. I thought they kind of dictated tempo and did the things that I thought we both thought if they were going to play at their optimum best, you were going to have some issues. So that's how I saw it. What was your take?
No, I think you got to give them a lot of credit. They compete. They come and they play 32 minutes a game. So it was a great lesson for us. You know, that's what we're aspiring to be with our young group, to give no plays off, let alone halves, quarters, minutes, anything. So give them a lot of credit. They got us running early, and then we made a late surge, but overall they just outplayed us.
Okay, and one thing that I thought, from my vantage point, once again, I thought that their big kid from Northridge was just tremendous. Your big kids, I thought, a little bit intimidated, and I thought he was really terrific. So you just kind of give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think he's a hard guard, because he's got a big and he's strong, but he's got guard skills, and so it definitely put our big guys in a little bit of disadvantage. And he could you could tell that, and he took it to him. And again, just another lesson for them to learn. Like, hey, there's an effort and energy you got to play with, especially when you're kind of the David in the Goliath battle. You got to compete.
But some of the positives to really take out of it, I thought Caleb played well. But Ethan Good was spectacular coming off the bench. Let's talk about his play.
Yeah, Ethan, what a great young man. I feel so bad for him because he's missed most of the year with recovering from his surgeries, and so he's still not where he could be or where we thought he would be. But obviously, you got to see a glimpse of what he's able to do, and he's just so much heart and toughness, and to be able to come in and give us a spark, we really needed it without having Alex, and so now we're gonna hopefully be able to kind of roll with him the rest of the season in a role as long as his body will let him do it.
Ben Murphy's a scratch today, so let's talk about how that is going to affect your rotation.
Well, we get to add Ethan, and then we lose one, and so it's going to change it. That's going to end up making Caleb our primary ball handler, and so it's going to ask him to do more in a way. And so at least we have Ethan now that can take some of that pressure off, but it's a little bit new, and you just don't know, what his legs will do for him. So the rotation is going to change even more so because we got news today that Cody Evans is eligible now. So he's going to be added to it, and so I expect him to get some minutes. So some of it's going to be filling out for all of us. us because, we were down a starter last game, and that obviously showed. We're down a starter tonight, and so hopefully some guys can step up and we can able to compete with Adams.
Okay, so let's turn our attention to Chad's group. He's been around the block a couple times like you and I. Give us an idea what concerns you about his guys.
Well, they're a little bit of a matchup problem because they've got really 5 guards on the court. Even their perimeter. I mean, they're in their biggest guy is their best guard with Tolbert. He goes downhill, dribbles hard, competes, and so it's kind of figuring out our matchups and being able to defend. I think if we can contain them, our size can hurt them and make them shoot over the top of us.
When you get into this week is similar to last week. You get 3 games during the week, man. This is like great lesson building opportunity for your guys, because if you're going to win the sectional, this is what it's going to be like. But this is the most important game because this is a league game. So let's talk about making sure the guys are aware of, hey, this is priority 1.
Yeah, like I remind them every day, they're all worth the same. And what we did against St. Joe last week is all undone if we don't bring it tonight. And so we talk about that quite often, and winning the conference is definitely one of those things we want to do. And right now, Adams is in our way of that process. So we've got to compete. We've got to play well and play within ourselves and give ourselves a chance.
Okay, specific matchups. Let's break it down even more, because now people are going to be able to watch what's going on. It's not radio, so we're watching TV tonight. Offensively, defensively, what matchups concern you?
I would just, Tolbert, number 11, he's a hard guard, and so especially with Alex is normally our primary defender, but him still kind of being a little dinged up, we've got to figure out who can guard them, so we'll probably start Peyton on him and see what he can do. Try to avoid having Caleb guard the best player early just to get out of foul trouble. So, number 4, Allen, he's a really good player too, so we're going to start with Alex on Allen. So those are their 2 primary scorers. Caleb and Mikhail will be kind of our help guys, and then Ethan's going to guard Johnson. And so it'll be kind of a chess match a little bit. I anticipate it's probably playing some zone 2, and we'll see how it goes.
Best of luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Regional Radio Sports Network wants to thank the Sharp family and A's Event Rentals, 805 West Edison Road in Mishawaka, for their terrific support of student athletes over the years. Serving the community for 53 years. Their phone number is 574-256-1110, and they are on the web at aysrental.com. That's AAYS rental.com.
All right, it's a busy day of high school basketball around the Hoosier State. Let's take a look at some of our local games in our geographical area, the Northern Indiana area, a.k.a. Michiana. First of all, in the Northern Indiana Conference today, Elkhart is at South Bend St. Joseph. Riley will be at New Prairie, and Washington will be at Demetrius Jackson Court to take on the Marion Knights. That game also being broadcast on Regional Radio Sports. Mishawaka is at Goshen in the Northern Lakes Conference. Northwood travels to Warsaw. Boy, oh boy, is that a good one today. 2 of the best teams in the state going at it tonight down in the Tiger Den. Plymouth will be out at Northridge, and Wawasee will be in Dunlop to take on the Concord Minutemen. In the Duneland Athletic Conference, Lake Central will be traveling to Chesterton. LaPorte is at Crown Point. Maryville having a tough season there at Valparaiso, and Michigan City is at Portage. That should be a pretty good game. In the Northern State Conference, Bremen will be at Jimtown. John Glenn travels to Knox. LaVille will be at Tippecanoe Valley. In the Hoosier North, we got Caston at Pioneer, Lakeland Christian at Argos, Oregon Davis at Culver, and West Central at Winnemac. And if you look at the conferences, Ryan, one thing to note, the Northern Lakes Conference right now, outside of league play, a .667 winning percentage, not too shabby. And the Northern Indiana Conference not doing too bad either at a .628. So it bodes well for what the Northern Indiana Conference has done, as well as the Northern Lakes, the 2 premier conferences within our the sounds of our voices.
Yeah, and when you look at both of those conferences, you think very top-heavy, some of the top teams in the state, some some receiving rankings and votes and all that stuff. But there's also some depth to both of these conferences as well. I mean, when you look at the Northern Indiana Conference and think of South Bend Adams right now sitting at the bottom of the conference rankings, sitting at 0-3, that's scary because they've already played a great non-conference schedule and won a lot of games. And so you can say the same from Northern Lakes Conference, Northern Indiana Conference. But yeah, looking over at that NIC, you got Penn, St. Joe, Riley, Marion, Washington, all kind of sitting there at the top. And then you got Elkhart, New Prairie, and Adams sitting there at the bottom three. Those three teams have played some of the top teams across the state to some really close games. Teams like Adams have beaten some of those teams, and so it's just, I mean, you got Adams who's 9-6 sitting at the bottom of the conference. Both the Northern Indiana Conference and the Northern Lake Conference, they have top-heavy dogs, but they also every night in conference is a dogfight.
Yeah, you and I've got a great one. I believe you're with me next Thursday.
Yep.
Because we have Marion at Penn. That should be an absolute slugfest there. And then, of course, Riley will be at Washington. And then Adams will be at St. Joe. So you have all the traditional rivalries going on. New Prairie and Elkhart will round out the league schedule. But, you know, for both of these teams, they're in the mode right now where they're playing 3 games in a week. So everybody's kind of getting into that mindset, Ryan, about, all right, if you're going to have success in the postseason, you've got to be able to do something special for 1 week where you're going to play 3 games. So it's going to be really, really encouraging, I think, the teams that gets through this 3-game stretch in 6 or 7 days and see how they respond to that. Because if they're going to have success in the postseason, you got to win 3 games in a week.
Absolutely. That's one of the unique things about Indiana state tournaments is the sectional is a draw. And so you can have the best regular season and have the toughest draw, have to play 3 games in a week, so it's out of your control. And so as a coach, the best thing you can do is prepare your players for the worst case scenario. And so I had the privilege to play for the Hall of Fame coach Al Rhodes, and those Saturdays when you've already played a game on Tuesday and a game on Friday and you're feeling tired and your legs are tired, Coach Rhodes would constantly remind us that this is what we're striving for. This is what we should be happy about. And so it's good to see the other coaches. Obviously, Barrett Kuhlman is a disciple of Coach Rhodes, having been assistant for him early in his career. And then Coach Johnston's just a world-class, probably future Hall of Famer himself. And so they know how to figure things out and prepare their teams for the postseason.
Hey, I want to wish a hearty congratulations to my buddy Fran McDonald and our friends over at McDonald Physical Therapy. They're celebrating their 36th year in business. What an amazing job Fran and his staff have done. Amazing things. They got a couple locations, 1005 Hickory Road in South Bend and in the St. Liam Hall on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. They offer physical therapy treatments including Alter G treadmill, Aston treatment, blood flow restriction, water therapy. McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation's phone number, give them a call at 574-233-5754. And they're on the web at mcdonaldpt.com. Once again, that number is 574-233-5754. We're going to take our final timeout and come back with all the details in 30 seconds right here on Regional Radio Sports.
Your Chevy event is on now. And start your new year with a bang. Bigger Chevy selection. Bigger Chevy savings. More for your trade. Upgrade your ride and get up to $10,000 off new Silverados. Or rates as low as 0% and don't pay till spring. It's a new year. Drive home a 24 Equinox for $279 a month. Banks are on full credit alert for this event. The Upgrade Your Chevy event is on now. Only at Gates, Mishawaka, and South Bend.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. We're ready to pay honor to America with the playing of the national anthem here at the Hadaway Shack, John Adams High School in South Bend, Indiana.
Presenting the colors tonight is the John Adams High School Civil Air Patrol. Performing the anthem is John Adams High School Junior Sophie Yazel. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem here by one of the students at John Adams High School. Tell you what, that's can't emphasize how difficult that is to do that, Ryan.
Yeah, Paul. I mean, you know me. I'm not a very musically gifted or talented person, so I can always appreciate when someone is able to sing like that.
But
first, the visitors, the Penn.
now let's get down to the starting lineups. First of all, for the visitors on the scoreboard here today, Kingsmen are decked out in the black shorts and the black jerseys, the gold numbers. 6'4" freshman Caleb Kuhlman, averaging 17.6 rebounds, 5 assists in every game, will be one of the guards. Ethan Good, who got a chance to play a big role in the last game, the 5'10" senior, averaging 3 points and a rebound, number 5. Alexander Hawthorne, a 6'2" senior, averaging 9 points and 2.5 rebounds in every game. Mikhail Price, a 6'7" sophomore, averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds. And rounding out the Kingsmen's starting lineup will be Peyton Miamba, a 6'4" sophomore, 9 points, 3.5 rebounds in every contest. There you have the Kingsmen. Kuhlman, Good, Hawthorne, Price, and Peyton Miamba.
Sophomore, number 2, Carter
Johnston, averaging 4 points and 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a steal in every game.
6'2" senior, number 3,
Lamont Jones, a 6'2" senior, 7.7 rebounds, 2 steals, 1.5 assists in every game. Jarvis Tolbert, a 6'3" junior, 21 points, 5 rebounds in every game. Teron Johnson, a 6'1" junior, 5.5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists a game. And then rounding out the starting lineup will be Mikey Barr, a 6'1" senior, 2 points and 5 rebounds in every game. All right, Ryan, keys to the game. Tell me about them.
I think the big keys to the game are who's going to take care of the ball, who's going to take care of the glass, and then whose superstar is really going to step up. I think when you look at the Kingsmen, Caleb Kuhlman, the freshman, and then when you look at South Bend Adams, Jarvis Tolbert, the junior. And so who's going to take care of the ball? Can the Kingsmen take care of the ball? Can Adams take care of the ball? Who's going to win the rebounding battle? And whose superstar is going to have the best game?
All right, Kingsmen moving from right to left on your screen. And the Eagles here at Hadaway Shack are going to fly from left to right, respectively. Paul Condry along with Ryan Lutz. Glad you could join us. The opening tip is won by the Kingsmen. Glad you've hopped along here. Thanks, as always, to the legendary and Hall of Famer, Tanya Condry, for helping today. Couldn't have done this without her. And also, kudos go out to Andrew Kirksey for our YouTube live stream tonight. With the basketball, Peyton Miamba at the top of the ring now. On the dribble, gives it off here to the near side. Now to Ethan Good. Good. Now dribbles in between the circles. He's content to set up the offensive infrastructure here now. Looks for a ball reversal. Ball comes down the near side to Alexander Hawthorne. Hawthorne on the drive in the lane. Comes to an abrupt call, hands it off to Kuhlman. Kuhlman with a spin, kick out to Hawthorne. Jumper from 3, bucket. Alexander Hawthorne, his 27th triple of the year. Kingsman lead at 3-0.
And a great defensive possession there by Adams, denying Kuhlman the ball, and then he gets the ball, and what happens? He leads to an assist and a great 3 by Hawthorne.
With the basketball on the far side now. And Johnson comes back out here to the near side to Tolbert. Tolbert with a drive inside the lane. Runs over a Coleman, no call. And turnover. Here come the Kingsmen from right to left now. Here's Coleman at the top of the ring now. Guarded by Carter Johnson. Caleb goes deep right corner now to Peyton Miamba. His triple, good. Kingsman out of the gates quickly. Miamba, his 20th triple of the year. 6-0 Kingsman.
Tough to guard them when you got the help side off of Kuhlman and then the corner 3's open. Looks like just a miscommunication there from Adams, turning the ball over there. Johnson throws it out of bounds.
You and I did a game earlier in the year at Penn. I guess it was the St. Joe game where they got in a zone. Everybody was knocking down triples.
They shot over 70% from 3 in that game, and that's how you upset the number 1 team in the state. And so this Kingsman team can get hot and can get hot fast.
Here's the ball into the hands now of Alexander Hawthorne. Alex drives inside the lane. The little 6-foot jump shot goes off the rim. No good. Rebound Mikey Barr. Now on the push out. Nice job by the Kingsmen to stop that strong dribble down the right side of the lane. Even though it was a foul, you sent a message.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's early on. If you're Peyton Miamba, you're showing them there's no easy straight line drives from the help side. That's a great job by Miamba.
Back out here to the top of the ring now. It's Johnson. Johnson comes out to the point now here to Tolbert. He's going to back in. Drive from the left side of the lane. Missed the shot.
Wow, and a great take there by Tolbert. Coolman gets it out and goes up to Good.
A little jump shot, no good, and then the ball ricochets off of Good's shin out of bounds.
And just to recap that last play, Coolman did a great job of blocking out a flying-in defender for rebound. This Adams team is so good at having guards crash the glass. Coolman boxes them out, grabs the rebound, gets it out, and goes. And a great look there from Ethan Good, just unable to get it to go.
Now the ball here on the near side wing for the Eagles. Johnson drives baseline, kick out to Carter J. Carter, jump shot from the corner, no good. Mikhail Price with the rebound for Penn. Now Hawthorne at the top of the ring now. Little shake and bake move. He moves his dribble over to the far side wing now, where he's guarded there by Lamont Jones. Hawthorne drives, pass inside Ethan Good, and he throws it away. Back the other way from left to right now. Tolbert stops, pops from 16, rims no. Still a 6-0 Kingsman lead here. We're at the 4:56 mark.
And a couple good looks for Tolbert, just unable to get him to fall. He'll get him to fall later on in the game, Paul. Really smooth player.
Here's Ethan Good with the basketball. On the dribble here on the near side wing, hands it off to Caleb Coolman. Coolman hasn't even had a shot yet. Guarded here by Carter Johnson. Jump pass to the right side. Miamba for three, no good. Rebound, Ethan Good goes inside. Comes away with the pumpkin. We got a jump ball.
They call a timeout, Adams.
And with that being said, we want to thank our friends at Clover Machinery Movers at 3521 North Home Street in Mishawaka. We want to thank them for underwriting our broadcast here today. They've been serving the industry since 1948. Clover Machinery Movers is fully equipped and insured for machinery moving, rigging, and hauling. They can move one machine or relocate an entire plant. And they also offer their customers heated storage facilities. The phone number, 574-255-3195. And they're on the web at clovermachinerymovers.com.
And so, Paul, like looking at this, the start of this game, the defensive strategy for both these teams has been clear. If you're South Bend Adams, your defensive strategy is you're not letting Caleb Coolman beat you. Carter Johnson has been his nose and Caleb Coolman's chest since he got off the bus, it seems like so far, just face guarding him, denying him. And the way that Penn has decided to guard South Bend Adams is with some length on their star Tolbert and a lot of extra help side. And so interested to see what kind of adjustments both teams make offensively to try to combat the defensive strategy that both have.
Carter Johnson goes out here to Kalen Allen here on the near sideline. Quickly over to the far side, ball into the hands of Jones. Foul line extended left now. Allen, jump shot. Karam's off the iron, no good. Rebound. Kingsman, here is Good pushing it up from right to left now. Into the near corner. Ball into the hands of Lucas Obermeyer. Obermeyer, who had a great night in their ball game against Wayne. Here's the ball on the far side now. On the dribble drive is Christian Bonner.
And a nice strong take there by Christian Bonner, but at a certain point you got to get to a jump stop. He's a strong left-handed driver, but when he tries to go too fast, sometimes he can get sped up. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. If he goes to a strong jump stop, Paul, I think he has a wide open man on the left block there underneath the basket.
Caleb Kuhlman will inbound the ball to the left of the lane from his vantage point. Goes out to Obermeyer. Obermeyer foul line extended left. Drives free throw line. Bounce pass into the near corner now here to Ethan Good. Good drives to the free throw line. Finds Kuhlman on the far side wing. Now Caleb brings it out of harm's way. Now in between the rings. Goes over to Ethan Good once again. 6-0 Penn here at the 3:23 mark. Here's Good with a mid-range 14-foot jump shot. Good. 8-0 Kingsman.
He's been doing that since his middle school days. I remember him at Kingsman Day Camp going to that mid-range jump shot. Ethan Good, just a solid senior, getting the job done.
Now the ball in the hands of Allen. Baseline shot over Kuhlman, no good. Rebound, Ethan Good. Ethan up court quickly now here to Obermeyer, who drives, shovels it inside. Now here to Bedient, and he traveled with the basketball.
Yeah, just I don't think he was expecting the pass there. It was a really good idea. Tough place to kind of catch and score if you're a big guy. Shuffled his feet a little bit. You see them, Obermeyer and Obedient slap hands there, say it's all right, got you next time. As Tayshawn Bardo, Paul, checks into the game for the Kingsmen.
Yeah, Tayshawn Bardo, a tremendous football player, one of the top football players in the state. He's playing for Pete Reardon again in the fall. Matter of fact, he'll be prominently written up in the Indiana Football Digest coming up in late June, early July. With the basketball now, Carter Johnston swings it over here to the far side now, here to Tolbert. Little jab step, foul line extended left on Bonner. Drives, cut off, back out to the top now. Here's Barr. Quickly back here to the left side now, Drew Dixon. Dixon finds some room down the right side and finally scores at the 2:29 mark of the quarter. It's now 8-2. And here's a steal by the Eagles. Here's Johnston back the other way. Goes into the deep right corner now. Here's Jones. Jones spins inside on Kuhlman. Now delivers the ball back out here. Here's Dixon. Dixon on the strong dribble. Comes back over here to the top of the ring now into the hands of Dixon. On the drive. Tolbert through the defense and he traveled with the basketball.
And Paul, as our friend Vince Gray would say, in Europe they just call that a step. Here they call that a Euro step, but it looks like tonight the referee's calling that a travel.
And now to walk it into the half-court set, and it's going to be Caleb Kuhlman. Now goes out here to Bonner, excuse me. Bonner foul line extended left, now comes back out here to Bardo. Tayshawn on the dribble, goes to the far side, hands it off now to Kuhlman. Kuhlman jump pass inside Obedient, and he scores the reverse layup. 10-2. As Kuhlman has become the facilitator here.
Yeah, his third assist of the game. Really impressed that he's not trying to force it. Sometimes you're getting face guarded and you're leading the scorer. You try to force some tough shots. He's just getting his teammates open, finding the open man.
Once again, ball on the far side, Jarvis Tolbert. Tolbert looking for help. Still on the look. Splits the defense. Drives down the right side of the lane. Comes to an abrupt halt. Skip pass out here to Dixon. Dixon, jump shot three, no good. John Beatty at the rebound for the Penn Kingsmen.
And again, the pressure of Johnston-Kuhlman matchup is just a really fun one to watch for me, Paul, as a basketball nerd and a Bethel nerd at that.
Now the ball here once again into the hands of Tayshawn Barta. Goes to Kuhlman in the corner. That's his first shot of the day. Beatty gets the offensive rebound. He'll go up strong. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound on the floor. And we have a whistle foul. I think they're going to call that on Obedient.
Yeah, and just physical, they're going to call that over the back. I'm really impressed with that move there by Obedient. Kept the ball strong amidst the swiping defenders, just unable to finish with his left. Really strong move, though, for a high school big man. That something you oftentimes have to teach at the college level. And so Obedient, great move. As I like to say, $1 million move, 10-cent finish. But he's going to be finishing more of those than he misses, Paul.
And Caleb Kuhlman going to get his first break of the day, and it's going to come at the 41-second mark. And now the Adams Eagles, a 10-2 trailer, will have the basketball in the half-court set. Now back out here to the top. Now here's Tolbert handing it off now to Johnson. Right side now to Dixon. Dixon drives inside, throws up the prayer, and it's answered. It's now 10-4. The Eagles close the gap here with 22 seconds to go.
Really heady play by the sophomore point guard, Drew Dixon, coming in off the bench, getting a couple buckets to get the spark to Adams' offense a little bit.
Hawthorne with the ball, matched up in the battle of 11s with Tolbert on the far side now. Here's the ball deflected, but goes right into the hands of Hawthorne. Hawthorne shot from three is an air ball, and here come the Eagles. Here's the three-quarter court shot on the way off the mark as Carter Johnson with the heave-ho. 1/4's in the books here from Hadaway Shack here in the Bend. Glad you've joined us here. The South Bend Adams Eagles coming in with a record of 9-6. Trail the Penn Kingsmen with a record of 9-7, 10-4 at the end of one. We'll be back after this.
Ride at Gates. Need a great buy? On a new ride, Gates has rates as low as 0% up to 60 months. And no payments till spring. Local lenders are on full credit alert for the sale. No payments till spring. All at Gates, all month long. What a sale!
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Glad you've hopped along with us here today. Thanks again to the Lilliard Insurance Agency. Real people, real service, real value. They help you put your life together with auto, home, life, and business. Regional Radio Sports, I might point out, has been proud to be a part of the Lilliard Insurance family for over 3 decades. Over 35 years they've been serving Michiana. Great insurance at a fair price. Thanks again to my buddy Matt Lilliard. Of course, you can hear Matt on Football Fridays in the fall as the color commentator, former NAIA 2-time champion.
Wow.
And, of course, the former Penn standout. He joins us on Football Fridays with Tanner Camp and Matt Copsey, respectively, at the house that Chris Giesman built at Freed Field. All right, glad you've joined us here today. Second, you got scoring here in the first quarter.
Yeah, for Adams, it was Drew Dixon with all 4 of their points, and then spread out for the Kingsmen. Ethan Good, 2, Hawthorne with 3, Medium with 2, and Miamba with a 3 as well to get them 10 points, 10-4.
Drew Dixon now with the basketball now here in between the rings. Goes over here on the right side now to Allen. Back out to the top, quickly to Tolbert on the far side wing. And ball reversal back out here to the top to Johnson. Here's Jones. Goes to the left elbow to Allen. He cuts across the lane. Now Tolbert. Tolbert, pull-up jump shot from 16. Good. Just like that. It's now a 10-6 ball game at the 7:16 mark.
And Jarvis Tolbert just so good at picking his spots, getting to his spots, and finding that mid-range jump shot. For a 6'3" guard, he's a really smooth, kind of old-school type player, Paul.
Ethan Good goes back door now to here to Caleb Kuhlman. Shovels it inside to Miamba, and Miamba missed the shot inside. And the ball will go out of bounds off of Peyton Miamba. It'll be Adams Eagles basketball.
And again, Caleb Kuhlman not forcing the issue here, not taking a tough, contested, double-team fadeaway jump shot, finding Miamba in the middle, and just an in-and-out look there for Peyton Miamba. Good look for him for the sophomore. He's got a really bright future ahead of him. I have a feeling in a couple years he's going to be dunking those, Paul.
Now the ball into the hands here of Drew Dixon. Goes right side now here to Tolbert. Cross courts it now to the far side. Dixon waiting there, looking for somebody to facilitate to. Comes back out to the top to Johnson. Johnson travel with the basketball.
Yeah, that's just a little too hard. You got to be under control there if you're Johnson. A really smart attack there as they're kind of denying Tolbert the ball a little bit, but just got a little too sped up, it looked like.
Glad you've joined us here this evening here from the Hadaway Shack here in the Bend. Paul Condry along with the former Penn great Ryan Lutz. Great to have Ryan with us here today. And once again, Penn with the basketball here. Ball on the near side. Mikhail Price goes inside to Miamba, back out to the top to Hawthorne. Back here, the near side to Miamba. Miamba looking, goes back to Alex at the top of the ring now. Hawthorne asking for some help. Goes now to Caleb Kuhlman on the far side wing now. Caleb on the drive. Ball slapped out of his hand by Teron Johnson, the 6'1 junior.
Now, Paul, I'll tell you, Peyton Miamba's shoe game makes me really glad that we are not doing the radio broadcast, because I don't think the listeners would believe us if they didn't see it on camera, that he is wearing one shoe that is white, one shoe that is black. A little mismatch there. I wonder if he planned that.
Don't get me. There's a turnover on the Kingsmen on the inbounds play. Don't get me started on shoes. You don't want to go. You don't want to go there. I like what John Adams has done here, because they all have the same shoes, colors and sizes and whatnot. I shouldn't say sizes, but certainly colors. I know my high school coach Jim Lichtenberger. Here's a steal by Caleb Kuhlman. Came on back the other way with the layup.
Paul, sometimes when you're the team's leading scorer and the defense is taking away your offense, the best way to get going is on the defensive end. That's what Caleb does, the freshman.
And a foul on the near side wing. And I believe they're going to call that one on Ethan Good. And you know something? We played a quarter and a half, and that's our first foul.
Yeah. Really, I mean, it's been a physical game, but just good physicality. I like the way the refs are calling it right now.
I totally agree with you. Carter Johnson goes left side now to Jones. Now back here to Dixon. Dixon comes back out to the top to Tolbert. Tolbert shakes, bakes, loads up the 14-footer and knocks it down. He's got a nice looking stroke out there.
He really does, and again, he's got an old school type type game. I'm trying to find the right type of player. I'll come back and find a player comparison of an old school NBA player that really likes to get to that mid-range.
Well, you don't have to do that. You can just use a college player. Here's a pass inside in, a two-hand flush for Mikhail Price, the talented 10th grader with the flush, giving the Kingsmen a 14-8 lead at the 4:59 mark of quarter number 2. Here's Dixon going over here to Carter Johnson, and he knocks down the first triple of the night for the Eagles. It's now 14-11 in favor of the Kingsmen at the 4:46 mark.
Man, both of these squads have a really bright future with the amount of underclassmen that make impact in varsity minutes right now for them.
There's a pass inside again. This time the Price is there for the easy layup. 16-11 in favor of the Kingsmen. 4:28 to go in the first half.
And the floodgates have opened up a little bit. We're seeing some more offense from both of these well-defensive teams.
I thought you were talking about our runny noses. And here's going to be a turnover on the Eagles. I ask that you indulge us here this evening because both Ryan and I are fighting the colds.
You know, Michael Jordan had his flu game, Paul. You and I are going to have our cold game up here in Indiana.
Yep. So, by the way, what are you preaching about on Sunday at Bethany Missionary Church out in Baga?
We're launching a brand new series called Unshakable. Having unshakable faith. So it's going to be really excited diving into the life of Elijah in the next 4 weeks.
All right, you can check it out, Bethany Missionary Church, just about 5 minutes from Penn High School. But the basketball out here is good. He backs that out of harm's way, and as Barrett Kuhlman standing up over here to our right, and Good just powers inside and takes the jump shot to give his team an 18-11 lead. 3:44 to go here in the second quarter. Carter Johnson ball on the near side. Comes back out here. Foul line extended left to Drew Dixon. Back out here to the top. Ball's on the floor. Good comes away with it. Gives it off now here to Kuhlman. Caleb on the dribble drive. Stops. And they're going to call a foul on the play. Our coverage today being presented in part by
Harris & Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, interior, and exterior painting. For more information, the phone number is 574-514-2104.
Christian Bonner checks back into the lineup as Mikhail Price will check out. Price with a couple field goals. He only averages 3 points a game, so he's well ahead of schedule. There's a pass inside to Bedian. John Bedian is fouled on the floor. And then they're going to say it was an active shooting play, and so that will send John to the line. And we probably shouldn't spend a lot of time talking about the shooting prowess of John Bedian at the charity stripe, because that is not an area that he excels. He is 4 for 20 on the year. The right-hander eyes it, flies it, and
unable to knock it down. And this is one, if you're John Bedian, he's a senior, and so you want to see your senior make more free throws. And so hopefully coming into February, coming into the postseason, he'll kind of find that rhythm.
Free throw on the way, in and out again, no good. And the rebound on the offensive side, no good. Tipped up, Bedian got it back, and then he had it stripped away nicely by Lamons Jones of Adams. Here's Carter Johnson. Kingsmen have extended the trapping zone defense out now. We haven't seen this from them much. Now with the ball over here, Tolbert goes into the corner. On the ball reversal is Johnson, back out to Tolbert. Quickly now here to Carter Johnson's bounce pass to the right wing. Knifing through the defense, Kalen Allen, shot no good in the rebound, Lucas Obermeyer.
And Paul, part of the reason that they switched that defense, when you look at the lineup on the floor right now, the shortest player on the court for the Kingsmen is actually their center, Christian Bonner, because you have John Bedian, you got Lucas Obermeyer, you got Alex Hawthorne, Caleb Kuhlman, all 6'3", 6'4", or above. So you have some length and some speed that can really throw a wrench into the Adams offense. So you see him switch it up to a 1-3-1 type packet-in trapping zone defense.
Now here's Caleb Kuhlman with the basketball. Far side goes here to the near side. Obermeyer will launch up the jump shots and air ball, but waiting underneath and missing the shot was Bonner. Oh, a golden opportunity for Penn. But somehow the Kingsmen retain possession. Ball here on the near side. Obermeyer goes inside to John Bedian. Bedian drives inside and banks it up and in. 20-11. This is now the largest lead for Penn on the night.
And they get back into that 1-3-1 type zone defense. I'm interested to see what adjustments Adams is going to make against this defense.
Here's Tolbert with the basketball. Bounce pass over here now to Carter Johnston. Carter, of course, his dad is Chad Johnson, the head coach. Here's the ball stolen by the Kingsmen. Beating it back the other way with the drive. And a foul's going to be called.
Bedian's going to get another chance at the line, it looks like.
Chad Johnson, all time, Ryan, is 12-16 versus Penn. His record at Adams is 2-6. When he was at Washington, he fared a little better. He was 10-10. Overall, Chad is 2-3 against Penn in the postseason. Of course, Penn won last year, 60-37. Penn has won 3 straight in this series. Barrett Kuhlman is 1-0 against Chad at Adams, and he's also 0-1 against Chad when he was at Valpa. Here's Obermeyer with the drive, gives way now to Bedian. Bedian up and under, tipped up, no good. John goes back at it again, couldn't get it to go again, and finally Tolbert comes away with the pumpkin.
Yeah, just missed opportunities there for the Kingsmen. You have a 9-point lead, but honestly, if you're Coach Kuhlman, you're thinking to yourself, man, this could be extended to 14, 16 points if we just make our layups. That's a third or fourth one here in the second quarter alone, where just easier shots, shots that they typically make, I should say.
So Carter Johnston is going to be at the point here on the offense here for the Eagles, as he'll finally get it over the timeline now. Wrap around to the near side wing, now to Tolbert. Tolbert's double teamed. Cut off on the drive. Now Tolbert on the right wing will launch the high arching 3-point shot, which is an air ball. And it will go off of Obermeyer out of bounds. And so the Eagles will inbound underneath their own goal with 1:22 to go on the clock here in the second quarter. They're a 20-11 trailer.
And now, Paul, they subbed Ethan Good back in for John Bedian. So I'm interested to see if they stay in this 1-3-1 zone, if they switch back to a man-to-man.
Here's Tolbert driving on the inbounds play, and he got fouled, so that'll send Tolbert to the line. Tolbert, a 70% free throw shooter on the year. Jarvis averages 1 assist, 1 steal, 3.5 turnovers in every game. And their right-handed shot is picture perfect. And it's now 20-12. Penn has led the entire game. They jumped out to an 8-0 lead. And it was 10-4 at the end of the first quarter. The Eagles have only scored 8 points here in the quarter. Free throw on the way. Rimming, nope, rebound. Kuhlman. Now Caleb surveying the defensive situation. Now gives way here to Good. Ethan at the top of the ring now. Over here on the near side. Ball into the hands of Cody Evans. Evans comes back out here to the near side wing to Kuhlman. Kuhlman spins inside the lane. Jump shot from 6. Nope. Rebound ripped out of there by Mikey Barr. John Adams. There's a pass inside to the low post. Shot woefully short from Lamont Jones. And the Kingsmen up court quickly now. Here's the drive. The shot. Off the rim. No good. Rebound. Jump ball.
Yeah, just another Christian Bonner just unable to get that finish. You see the frustration because he knew that's a layup that he'd like to have. And you see, Paul, I don't know if you mentioned this, Cody Evans checked into the game on a previous time, so it's nice to see him entering the game. Just another long, lengthy sharpshooter to add to this Kingsman repertoire.
Yeah, he finally got eligible, full eligibility. He had limited eligibility earlier, and that's a long story there. And it's not, we're not going to go into it, but it's one of those situations where here is Caleb Kuhlman with the basketball, kick out into the corner. There's Evans for 3, shot no good, rebound goes off of the Eagles' Kalen Allen, and it'll be Penn basketball to inbound underneath their own goal. Caleb Kuhlman will be the trigger man. Standing right beside him is the legendary Hall of Famer Kurt Rallo. He was on my radio show last night at Beef O'Brady's. Here is Ethan Good with the basketball. Finds Kuhlman at the top of the ring now. Kuhlman in between the rings, rubs off a screen, still on the dribble. Now comes over here now to Evans. Evans skip past to Ethan Good. Wide open Ethan. Shot no good. Rebound. Tracked down by the Eagles. And that's going to do it. 2 quarters have come and gone here from our broadcast location at the Hadaway Shack. Low-scoring affair, but an entertaining game nonetheless. Penn 20, Adams 12 at the end of 2 quarters of play. We'll be back with more right after this.
Your Chevy event is on now. And start your new year with a bang. Bigger Chevy selection. Bigger Chevy savings. More for your trade. Upgrade your ride and get up to $10,000 off new Silverados. Or rates as low as 0% and don't pay till spring. It's a new year. Drive home a 24 Equinox for $279 a month. Banks are on full credit alert for this event. The Upgrade Your Chevy event is on now. Only at Gates, Mishawaka, and South Bend.
And we'd like to thank our friends over at A's Rental. We'd like to thank the Sharp family at A's Rentals at 805 West Edison Road in Mishawaka for their terrific support of student athletes over the years. Serving the community for 53 years, their phone number is 574-256-1110, and they're on the web at aaysrental.com.
Scoreboard update from Mackey Arena. Boilers, Hoosiers, Duke. Why are they playing on a Friday? Why are they taking Indiana high school basketball and pushing them aside to play on a Friday? Shame on the Big Ten. Shame on Purdue and Indiana for playing on a Friday. I said this when the Big Ten started playing football games on Friday. It's the worst thing you can do to high school sports. But with that being said, Purdue leads Indiana 9-6.
9-6 early in that game. I'm interested to see that one. IU, I'll be interested to see how they finish out the season because it seems like their coach might be on the hot seat. But I got a local score from our broadcast partners over in Mishawaka. Mishawaka Marion currently leads South Bend, Washington 41-18 at half. Marion is leading Washington 41-18 at half.
Normally I would say, we're talking about this game 20-12 at the end of 2 quarters. I normally would talk about time of possession in the game. But certainly we're not talking about time of possession here in this one. That's a football inside joke. But nonetheless, first of all, for the Adams Eagles on the day, 5 for 15 from the field overall, 33%, 1 for 4 from long range. They were 1 for 2 at the line. Here's what will astound you is the Penn. Penn had 26 shots. They had 11 more shots, Ryan, in the first half than their opponent did. So the Kingsmen were 9 of 26, 34.5%. The Kingsmen from long range, 2 of 8. And keep in mind, they made their first 2 triples. So in other words, they missed their last 6, excuse me. But 0 for 2 at the line. Penn is out-rebounded Adams, 19-10 in the game. 2 assists for the Eagles, 4 assists for the visitors from Osceola. 6 turnovers on the Eagles. Penn with 4 mistakes in the first half. Points off turnovers. Penn had 6. Adams had 2. And points off the bench. Penn had 2. Adams did not have any points off the bench. And looking at the leading scorer in the game, well, you've got the scoring right there, but the leading scorer in the game for both basketball teams, and this one, I didn't see this thing coming this way. I thought for sure it would be Caleb Kuhlman leading the way. Caleb has only got 1 field goal, but he does have 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Yes. He's allowing the game to come to him. Like a great player, like you did when you were playing.
That's exactly what he's doing. Not like I did, Paul. Don't compliment me too much. He's being really smart because what he's doing is, this is what makes the great coaches so great and the great players so great. what Bill Belichick would always say that he would do is he would take away what the other team was trying to do to make it more difficult. So what Caleb's doing is he's recognizing that Adams is trying to take Caleb out of their offense. And so what Caleb's doing is he's inserting himself into their offense in different ways, by crashing the glass, by getting the ball out in transition. He has 3 assists, but he also has 3 other dimes that probably could have been assists that were just missed opportunities. That's the one thing, if I'm Coach Kuhlman and the Kingsmen, I'm feeling okay about this 8-point lead, but I know that this league could easily get to 16-20 if we make our layups, we make our free throws, we make our open jump shots.
Busy week coming up ahead for us on Regional Radio Sports, but our coverage tonight is being presented in part by Clover Machinery Movers, 3521 North Home Street in Mishawaka. We want to thank them for underwriting our broadcast. They've been serving the industry since 1948. Clover Machinery Movers is fully equipped and insured for machinery moving, rigging, and hauling. They can move one machine or they can relocate an entire plant. And they also offer their customers heated storage facilities. The phone number is 574-255-3195, and they're on the web at clovermachinerymovers.com. Once again, glad you've hopped along. We're going to take a quick time out. We're going to come back with our continuing coverage of high school basketball here today from the Hadaway Shack in South Bend. We'll be back after this.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
In 2007, Marine First Lieutenant Travis Manion was killed in Iraq after saving his wounded teammates. Travis's legacy lives on through the words he spoke before his final deployment. If not me, then who? Words that today fuel the spirit of Travis Manion Foundation. And through TMF, these words can live in you too. Show the world what you're made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at travismanion.org.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with former Penn standout, Bethel standout, Ryan Lutz. Great to have Ryan with me here today. We have got so much activity going on next week. I know I have 6 games and I know you have 5, but we're all over the map because our coverage of college volleyball, men's college volleyball, starts on Friday. We have high school and college basketball. Of course, for most people who follow Regional Radio Sports know that we're also the voice of the Bethel University Pilots, the voice of the Holy Cross College Saints at Notre Dame, also the voice of Indiana University South Bend. All of our teams will be in action throughout the course of next week, and looking forward to seeing several teams play. But we got several marquee basketball games across the way going on too, and I'm looking forward to the game that you and I are going to see on Thursday, because you and I'll get a chance to see Mishawaka Marion for the first time, and of course, the way the Northern Indiana Conference is right now, every game is such a pivotal game if you're going to win a conference championship.
Yeah, Paul, going into every season, at least for most well-coached teams, you have a few goals in mind, most of them team-oriented, and one of those first goals is always win the conference. And so if you're the Penn Kingsmen, if you're South Bend Adams, if you're Mishawaka Marion, as we talk about next week, if you're someone in the NIC, you see that it is a wide-open race right now for the winning that NIC title. And so every game's so crucially important. Every game's going to be a dogfight, and I'm excited to get to call some games, Paul.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, come back with more. Quick reminder that we've got great basketball coming your way tomorrow on Regional Radio Sports. Video game coming up. I believe we're at, I think it's Crown Point at South Bend, Washington tomorrow at the Great Western Forum. That'll be a game that's on Regional Radio Sports. I know the guys are stoked about it, the opposite we're talking about, because several of those guys have not seen Crown Point yet. You saw Crown Point against Penn in the first game.
That's a good basketball team.
Yeah, and they haven't lost a game yet. So that should be a dandy coming up on Regional Radio Sports tomorrow. All right, we're going to take a 30-second timeout, come back. Third quarter's about ready to get underway. Thanks for joining us on Regional Radio Sports.
Why do more students choose Ivy Tech Community College over any other school? Ivy Tech offers flexibility, a wide variety of programs, and thousands of classes, including online options. Our certificates and degrees get students into a great career quickly. And if you want an affordable path to a bachelor's degree, we have guaranteed admissions programs with most four-year universities in Indiana. So you can start at Ivy Tech and transfer as a junior. Ready for a great education at the lowest cost? Complete a free application today.
Paul Condry along with Ryan Lutz. Glad you could join us here. The black and gold of Penn High School on the road here today at the Hadaway Shack to take on the John Adams Eagles. A couple Bethel University products coaching them up here today. Barrett Kuhlman, of course, who coached and played for Mike Lightfoot at Bethel. Chad Johnson, who was recognized on Wednesday at Bethel because they had the 1995 NAIA National Champion team that was recognized. A team that went 38-2. Wow. And Chad was part of that group. And great to see those guys. I was fortunate to be able to do that game, even though it was the outcome we didn't like. Huntington with a great performance coming on the road and punching the Pilots out on that particular night. But hey, you got to play. Nobody goes undefeated in the Crossroads League. That's for sure. And if you think you're going to be able to do that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona for you. All right, so the Kingsmen, once again, black shorts and black jerseys. They're moving from left to right on your screen here. And the Eagles will be going from right to left, respectively, here in this third quarter. Our third quarter being presented in part by our friends at Clover Machinery Movers, the Lilliard Agency, McDonald Physical Therapy. And also, don't forget, Tanner Camp will be hosting the Coach's Box on Thursday night. I'm not sure who his guest will be, but Tanner will sort out some of the details. We had a blast last night talking with Alex Daniel at Riley and Kurt Ryle, the legendary sports writer who's going into the Sports Writers Hall of Fame this past. Here's Carter Johnson with the basketball on the quick drive. Cut off by Good on the dribble drive. Comes back out here to the near side. In case you're just joining us, Eagles are decked out in the white shorts and the white jerseys and the red numbers. Kingsmen black shorts and black jerseys. They're moving from left to right. Kingsmen have on the floor Kuhlman, Good, Hawthorne, Price, and Miamba. Eagles are going back with their same starting lineup that they had. Carter Johnson, Lamont Jones, Jarvis Tolbert, Teron Johnson, and Mikey Barr. Here's the ball on the far side into the hands of Mikey Barr. He drives baseline, cut off. Hands it off inside again. Kuhlman got a block shot in there. And the ball goes out of bounds, however. Nice active hands by number 4.
Really good active hands. You see that Coach Kuhlman made an adjustment and put Caleb on Jarvis Tolbert. And so that adjustment, we'll see how Tolbert kind of takes advantage of that matchup.
With the basketball, here's Johnson. Comes right back out to Tolbert. Tolbert drives here on Caleb Kuhlman. Shoots and scores. Well, there was the answer to that one. Did a nice job against Kuhlman.
Yeah, and that was good defense by Kuhlman, just better offense by Tolbert, and that's why the matchup with the length that Penn had in the first half was such detriment there to Tolbert. So I'm interested to know why they kind of made the adjustment to put Kuhlman on him.
Good goes into the low post now here to Price. Hits Kuhlman coming across the lane. Double team, kicks it out to Good in the corner. Three-point shot, middle of the bottom of the net. 23-14 in favor of the visitors.
Tell you what, I'm on the Ethan Good fan club bus at this point. He's just a hard-working player. He's been doing this for 4 years here for the Kingsmen. Just a culture-type guy. Was tough to see him sitting out the first few weeks of the season. Glad he's back on the floor.
Yeah, he's been besieged by injuries. Ball on the far side. Once again, Jarvis Tolbert gives way. Here's a drive. He had Good up in the air, and then where's the 3-second violation? Teron Johnson drives inside the lane, up under him once again. Nice job by the Kingsmen on the block shot.
And they've done such a good job, not necessarily guarding the ball very well, because Adams is getting downhill well, but that secondary help defender is doing a great job of helping without fouling, Paul.
Carter Johnson inbounds the ball over on the far side to Jones. Back out here to Carter. Carter comes around the screen, loads up the triple, no good. Rebound comes long. Kick back out here to Tolbert. Shot no good. It ricochets in the hands now to the always reliable Ethan Good. Good at the top of the circles. Ingles his dribble to the right, hands it off now here to Hawthorne. Back over here to Peyton Miamba. His three, no good. Rebound into the hands of Carter Johnston. of South Bend Adams. Up court quickly now. Here's to Tolbert. Tolbert with the drive. Pull up Jay on the way. No good. Rebound. Lamont Jones kicks back out here to the near side to Johnson. Johnson's jumper no good. And finally, Mikhail Price with the rebound. Here is good on the push out from left to right. Finds Miyama coming down the lane with the drive and the score. 25-14 Kingsman at the 5:19 mark of quarter number 3.
And Paul, on that previous defensive possession for the Kingsmen, Mikhail Price, the sophomore, did such a great job of going from the strong side block to get the weak side rebound. He knew that long shots oftentimes go long on the rebound in the corner 3, gets to the opposite side of the basket, and is able to get the rebound on the weak side. Just a real heads-up play by the sophomore big man, Mikhail Price, and then Peyton Miyamba finishes up the three-point play on the other end.
So back-to-back three-point plays after the Eagles had scored the first points of the half. And it's now 26-14. That is the largest lead now for the Kingsmen. And the Kingsmen have led right from the beginning when they jumped out to an 8-0 lead. Now the ball in the hands of Drew Dixon. Goes over on the far side. And go right back to Dixon at the point now. He's going to be matched up defensively by senior Alex Hawthorne. Now the ball into the hands of Jones. Here's a Euro step and a drive and a shot. And a nice job by Peyton Miyama to come over immediately to help up Jarvis Tolbert.
Yeah, again, that's just, they have really good secondary help. That time they do foul, but it makes Tolbert have to make 2 15-foot shots instead of 1 easy layup.
Tolbert at the line on the year, a 70% marksman. Knocks down the free toss, 26-15, 4:50 to go here in the third quarter. One more for Tolbert, comes in, averaging 21 points a game. He's able to rattle a couple of them home. It's now a 10-point Penn lead, 26-16. Caleb Kuhlman with the basketball, streaks over the timeline, puts on the brakes right on the beak of the Eagles. Painted here on the floor at the Hadaway shot. Now here's Ethan Good at the top. Still on the dribble, backs it out of harm's way. He's going to rub off a screen from Price, now back to the point.
And just great defense right now by Adams, switching those ball screens when they can. Good,
left elbow goes down here to Caleb Kuhlman. Kuhlman face guarded by Johnston. Jump pass out here into the corner. Hawthorne, 3, good. 29-16, Hawthorne. But it was all set up by a strong, aggressive start on the attack by Caleb Kuhlman. On the dribble. Kick pass out here to Jarvis Tolbert. He loads up the triple off the rim, no good. Rebound. Ball went high above the basketball extension and hit the wire.
Yeah, Adams, that's a great look there, getting your best player, your leading scorer, wide open shot in the corner, unable to knock it down. There hasn't really been a ton of continuity right now in the Adams offense, and so I'm interested to see what kind of offensive sets Coach Johnston draws up to try to get his team going, because defensively, they're holding the Kingsmen right now to only 29 points, which is pretty good for how well the Kingsmen are shooting the ball from the triple.
Caleb Kuhlman with a basketball, stops, pops, scores. 31-16. He's been so versatile tonight in regard to not really pushing the issue. The shot's not there, so he's been the facilitator. Oh, here's a great defensive effort by Hawthorne. Just tried to pick the pocket of the sophomore Drew Dixon.
Yeah, and Paul, back to Caleb Kuhlman. Two things that can happen negatively, that will negatively affect your team when you're getting face guarded. One, you can try to force the issue. We know Caleb's not going to do that. But two, you can try to take away all aggressiveness, and he's proven that he's not doing that either. So really impressed with the freshman.
Here's Lamont Jones with the spin. The shot, bank shot, no good. Caleb Kuhlman with the rebound. Caleb pushes it up now. Finds John Bedient on the drive, and he lost it out of bounds. I thought John touched it last.
Yeah, I think the ref was even also debating, I think, calling a foul. I think John Bedient said, hey, don't call a foul. Just give it to us out of bounds on the baseline.
Indiana's jumped in front of Purdue now 25-22. A little scoreboard watching on a Friday. Here's a pass inside to the Kingsman, Alexander Hawthorne. He was asking for a foul. Ball out here to the top now, Drew Dixon. Foul line extended left. Now goes inside the low post now to Jones, then kick back out to Carter Johnson. His jump shot from 3, no good. Rebound. Tolbert lost the handle on it. It'll be Penn basketball.
Yeah, great rebound there by Tolbert, beating Kuhlman to the ball, but just unable to corral it enough to get himself into the good basket area shape.
Kingsman leading 31-16, 2:54 to go in the third quarter. Nice job by Carter Johnston. They're trying to make some noise here.
Yeah, and if you're Caleb Kuhlman there, you're a freshman, don't ever fake a backdoor type thing. Always run all the way through the ball as the point guard, especially when you have your big guy taking the ball out of bounds.
And now to inbound will be Christian Bonner. Gets it now here to Kuhlman, and he says, clear out. I got it under control. Caleb now into the half-court set at the top of the ring. Going to rub off the screen from Beatty. Kick out into the corner now. Okay, here's Kuhlman with the basketball near side wing. Expect a Hawthorne on the right wing. Hawthorne stops on the right elbow, looks for help. Gives way to John Bedient. Now he hands it off now to Kuhlman. Kuhlman back to Bedient. Shovels it inside. And that's going to be an offensive foul called. Nice job by the Eagles to come up and take the charge. That was senior Kalen Allen taking the charge.
Great opportunity, seizing the opportunity, taking the charge. Again, we would talk about the Kingsman secondary help defense. The secondary help defense for Adams has been really good as well to be in the mix. Forced missed layups, and that time stepping up and taking a charge, getting run over there. And you see him kind of hobbling around, but just a great charge by the heady senior.
Cody Evans playing in his first varsity game here at Penn. Comes into the game tonight. He just, as we mentioned during the first half, just received his full eligibility. Basketball into the hand of Carter Johnson's for Adam. Goes inside to the low post now here to Johnny Anella. And then the ball comes back out.
Dixon there with the three. Drew Dixon just coming off the stagger screen, hitting the contested triple.
And then a timeout's going to be called. We want to thank our great sponsors here today, including our friends at Clover Machinery Movers, 3521 North Home Street in Mishawaka. We want to thank them for running our game today. They've been serving the industry since 1948. Clover Machinery Movers, fully equipped and insured for machinery moving, rigging, hauling. They can move one machine or relocate an entire plant. They also offer their customers heated storage facilities. Their phone number is 574-255-3195, and they're on the web at clovermachinerymovers.com. So the timeout for Adams here at the 2:05 mark. That's Chad Johnston's second timeout. And on the floor coming out of the timeout for the Eagles, Johnny Inella, a 6'4 sophomore wearing jersey 32. He's also on the floor with Carter Johnson, also to be joined out there by Jarvis Tolbert. And finally, rounding out the lineup, it'll be Kalen Allen and Drew Dixon. Kingston will come back with Obermeyer, Evans, along with Kuhlman and Price. And finally, it will be Christian Bonner on the inbound. And now Caleb Kuhlman will walk the ball into the forecourt here.
And something that all season long the Kingsmen have been so good at is sets out of the timeout. And so they got 2 minutes to go. I'm interested to see what kind of set Coach Kuhlman has drawn up.
Here's Kuhlman with the fake straight line drive down the right side of the lane. Here's Evans, looks for ball reversal. Goes into the corner now to Bonner. Bonner skip pass out here to the near side to Obermeyer in the corner now to Evans. Evans looking for help. Stops, looks for ball reversal at the right elbow. He double dribbled. No call. Got a break there. There's a pass inside to the low post now here to Price. And he is going to be called for traveling.
And an interesting no call. I thought it could have been an offensive charge or it could have been a block. No call either way, call travel instead. I'm always interested, Paul, by those calls, especially when the big guys get it inside, when they call no call that time.
And now the Eagles with an opportunity to close the gap. They are a 31-19 trailer here with 75 seconds to go here in the third quarter now. Here's Tolbert with the basketball. 16-foot shot straight on. Good. 31-21.
And it's not an old school player, Paul, but he's got a Kawhi Leonard type game to him. Just long, lengthy, really good at getting into the mid-range shot.
Who?
Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Played for the Spurs, played for the Raptors, now he plays for the Clippers. Really good, heady player.
Once again, it's a generational thing, Tiny Cadre. The last NBA game I watched, I think I saw David Robinson play. That'll give you an idea of the last NBA game that I watched. And I stopped watching when Larry and when Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and that group were playing.
So Paul, there's a new guy in San Antonio, 7'6", Victor Wembanyama. He can shoot the three, and he's 7'6" tall. He's really fun to watch, Paul.
With the ball here at the top, I just don't think I can even comment about that. Here is Kuma with the jump pass into the corner. Obermeyer for three, off the rim, no good. Rebound. Tolbert on the quick push out. Here the Eagles have got some numbers. Ball here on the far side wing now. It's Drew Dixon. Dixon crosses over. Nice job by Evans to take away that strong drive. Now comes out here to Allen. Back to Dixon. Dixon on the far side, on the volleyball line, far side. Going to play for the final shot of the third quarter. 31-21 in favor of the Kingsmen. Here's Drew Dixon. Stops, goes to the far side. Tolbert spins inside the lane. Off balance 7-footer. No, rebound. Obermeyer quickly up the near sideline. Stops. Hits it to Good off balance three on the way at the horn. No good. We're going to take a timeout because 3 quarters are in the books. Penn 31, South Penn Adams 21. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Regional Radio Sports.
Your Chevy event is on now. And start your new year with a bang. Bigger Chevy selection. Bigger Chevy savings. More for your trade. Upgrade your ride and get up to $10,000 off new Silverados. Or rates as low as 0% and don't pay till spring. It's a new year. Drive home a 24 Equinox for $279 a month. Banks are on full credit alert for this event. The Upgrade Your Chevy event is on now. Only at Gates, Mishawaka, and South Bend.
Develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Welcome back here to the Hadaway Shack here in South Bend, Indiana. The Adams Eagles hosting the Penn Kingsmen in a pivotal Northern Indiana Conference game. Kingsmen sitting right now atop the leaderboard in the NIC at 3-0. Eagles at 0-3. But I tell you what, 10-point ball game to start the fourth quarter. Anybody's game, Ryan Lutz.
All these first 2 minutes of this quarter are going to be huge. Can the Kingsmen extend the lead, or can Adams really fight back into this lead? Is going to be really telling for the rest of this ball game.
Ethan Good with the basketball, and there's going to be a timeout called by Penn as they'll take advantage of the being right there on the side. I really, really like the timeout and the heads-up play there.
I really like the defensive call there by Coach Johnston, really throwing the Kingsmen off. They clearly had a set plan and just threw them off completely, forced them into a timeout. So great coaching both sides of the ball. And this game on Regional Radio Sports Network is presented by Harrison Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harrison Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harrison Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior and exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harrison Sons Construction, the phone number is 574-514-2104.
Kingsman will have Peyton Miamba along with Mikhail Price. Remember, the starting lineup is on the floor for the first time, really, since the first couple minutes of the third quarter. Kuhlman, Good, Hawthorne, Price, and Miamba are on the floor. Here's a Price to the back door. Nice job by the Eagles to come away with the steal.
That's great help side defense there by Lamont Jones.
Over here on the far side, Tolbert on the drive, lost the handle on it, but slaps that out to Carter Johnson. Carter now backs it out of harm's way. You got a little bit of a mismatch there now. As Carter now has the basketball. Bounce pass over here to the near side to Lamont Jones. Jones hands it off on the come around now here to Johnson. Back out to the top now here to Jarvis Tolbert. Tolbert averaging 21 points a game. On the dribble, goes down the left side of the lane, missed the shot. Rebound by Kalen Allen of John Adams. He missed the shot, and then the ball goes off the hands of Lamont Jones. It'll be Penn basketball.
Yeah, just a great possession there from Adams, unable to get points, which is really deflating as we're about a minute into this quarter. You really want to cut into this lead, get it to single digits, get it to about that 7 to 5 point by the time the 6-minute mark hits. They are unable to do that there.
Now here's Ethan Good with the ball. Zigzag his way into the half-court set, and then he had it slapped out of bounds. Nice job by Taron Johnson just to have those active hands.
Again, just throwing a wrench into the Kingsman flow of the game. They're really doing a great job of that to start this fourth quarter.
Now, ball into the hands of Caleb Kuhlman. Caleb now in between the rings. Goes over here to Ethan Good. Good kicks it out into the corner to to Peyton Miyama, and he buries the three-point bomb.
I'll tell you what, Peyton Miyama in the corner is just deadly. He is so smooth at that corner three-pointer, Paul.
34-21 Kingsman. Ball into the hands now of Carter Johnston. Comes back near side now to Tolbert. Tolbert popping up high now is Allen. Back under the near side now here to Johnson. Johnson looks for a cutter. Goes back to Tolbert at the top. Tolbert drives on the left side of the lane. Throws up the shot. No good. Ethan Good. Nice job on the box out. Comes away with the pumpkin.
That's a really good box out there, Paul.
Here's Good at the top of the ring now. Dribbles down the right side lane. Comes to a jump stop. Goes back out to Alex Andrew Hawthorne. Hawthorne on the straight line drive. Euro steps. And a foul's going to be whistled on the Eagles. Julia Smith out over here to our right. The assistant coach for the Kingsmen. Just telling Alexander Hawthorne to power to the goal. You can just see him. Jumped off the bench like he was sitting on a spring.
I tell you what, Coach Smith, probably one of the best assistant coaches in the state. Just really smart guy. Loves Barrett Kuhlman, loves Penn basketball. Excited that he's on the staff.
Yeah. His daughter, George Smith, is wrapping up her college career at Holy Cross College up at Notre Dame. She's going to be the all-time assist and steals leader at Holy Cross. Here's the ball into the hands of Hawthorne. Goes inside to Price. Price looking for help. Lost the handle on it, but it was a foul's going to be. I think they're going to call that on Anella. It will be.
Yeah, it looks like he just got him in the arm according to the referee there. And if you're Coach Johnson, you're honestly not too upset about the early fouls because it's most likely going to be a foul contest toward the end of the game. And so you got to kind of start building that foul to get into the bonus toward the end.
This has been the best high school officiated basketball game of the year, as far as I'm concerned. Here's Kuhlman, jump pass out here to Ethan Good. His triple way off the mark. Rebound Tolbert. Travis back the other way now. Hits the trailer. Here's Drew Dixon. Foul line extended left. Comes back high to Anella. Back here to Dixon. Dixon with the drive. Missed the shot. Rebound into the hands of Price. Now here's Alexander Hawthorne giving way now to Kuhlman. Kuhlman quickly over the timeline. Now gives it to Ethan Good. Good comes around a high side screen. Now goes into the corner now. Peyton Miyama. One-on-one against Tolbert. It's going to drive. Lost the handle. Gives it back to Kuhlman. 5 minutes to go in regulation. Kingsman. And they're going to call a traveling call on Caleb Kuhlman. He's looking in stunned silence at what was that?
I think the whole gym is, honestly. I think even Coach Johnston's looking at it like I didn't see a travel, but maybe we hit it. Maybe we didn't have the best angle on the ball up here in the bird's nest.
And so here's Drew Dixon with the ball for the Eagles in the half-court set. They start the offense to the far side to Kalen Allen. Back out to the top as Ainella. Back to Johnston on the near side wing. Back out to the top. Wide open is Dixon. He'll take the jump shot. No good. Tolbert powers inside, and that's going to be a jump ball. Nice job again by both teams inside, just getting hands on the ball without fouling people.
I mean, if you're Tolbert there, you're battling Caleb Kuhlman for the rebound. You finally get it. You corral it. You battle him to the rim. And when you get up there, you have to meet Mikhail Price and Peyton Miyamba up at the rim. That's just so difficult, Paul. So difficult.
Ethan Good's checking out of the ball game, and now Tayshawn Bardo, the great football player, will check out onto the planks here. Here's a pass inside by Johnston. Goes inside. And a nice little baby hook there for Jarvis Tolbert to close the gap to 34-23 with 4:32 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a steal by the Eagles. Back the other way, Dixon. He is fouled, and that is a really smart foul.
Yeah, really smart foul there. Really smart by Drew Dixon to try to get the shot off before Just two smart players there, Bedian and Dixon. But if you're Adams, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to speed the Kingsmen up so that they turn it over. And if you're Penn, that's exactly what you don't want to do, and that's why they're taking a timeout.
And Penn's going to take a timeout, and we're going to take a timeout as well. 34-23 Penn. We'll be back right after this.
Your Chevy event is on now. And start your new year with a bang. Bigger Chevy selection. Bigger Chevy savings. More for your trade. Upgrade your ride and get up to $10,000 off new Silverados. Or rates as low as 0% and don't pay till spring. It's a new year. Drive home a 24 Equinox for $279 a month. Banks are on full credit alert for this event. The Upgrade Your Chevy event is on now. Only at Gates, Mishawaka, and South Bend.
With 3.5 minutes remaining down at Mackey. Hoosiers 36, Boilers 29.
Is that the first half, Paul?
First half, about 3.5 to go.
Didn't know if we had another low-scoring affair on our hands as well over down there in the southern Indiana.
Coming out of this timeout here at the 4:25 mark. This is Bear Coben's timeout, and the Eagles will have the basketball to inbound underneath their own goal. Peyton Miamba with that 6'4" frame and that big wide wingspan, and a turnover. They're going to say Carter Johnson.
Looked like Carter Johnson tripped.
He did.
I thought it might have been over a Kingsman defender. The ref is saying that it was over his own teammate, so no call, just the ball goes out of bounds. And Chad Johnston, the head coach of Adams, not too happy right now.
And now here's a foul called on the inbounds play on Drew Dixon, the 6-foot sophomore point guard.
They're calling it on Tayshaun Bardo.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Calling an offensive foul.
So there's your makeup call, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah. All right, so the second foul on the Kingsmen now as a team, and the first on Bardo. And Bardo's going to come out of the ballgame now. And so will Hawthorne. So new into the game now will be Lucas Obermeyer and Ethan Good, respectively. Keep in mind the Kingsmen are playing without Ben Murphy, who's out still. He started the first 16 games for the Kingsmen. There's a pass inside, a kick save and a beauty. Oh, my.
It's not soccer season, Paul. But speaking of Ben Murphy, he's a primary ball handler, and right now the Kingsmen are having some trouble breaking this press. And so who's going to step up? Is it Caleb Kuhlman? Is it Ethan Good? Who else is going to step up to handle the ball for this Kingsman team?
Yeah, you're taking a guy off your team that averages nearly 4 assists a game. Not playing in the game tonight, but the Kingsmen have weathered the storm thus far. Now with the basketball, the Adams Eagles. Ball on the far side wing, it's Tolbert. Tolbert jump pass inside, nice little exchange. Layup from Lamont Jones closes the lead to 34-25 with 3:58 to go.
And Ethan Good, the veteran, just getting everyone else out. He's saying, get out, don't try to be too cute with it. Everyone clear out, I'll handle the ball, bring it up the floor.
Ethan now in between the rings. Goes right side now to Caleb Kuhlman. Back to Good. Back to Kuhlman on the right wing. Kuhlman guarded by Carter Johnson, drives baseline. Comes back to Obedient and hands it right back to Caleb. Caleb goes ball reversal. Jump pass into the corner, now to Good. Good goes out here to Obermeyer. Obermeyer inside the lane. Up, under, scores! 36-25. Obermeyer with a nice little hop, skip, and a jump, as they like to say.
Great possession there. Get in a couple ball reversals on some skip passes after some great attacks, and then Obermeyer with the up and under.
Obermeyer, another one of those Bethel guys. Dad played at Bethel. Back out to the top. Now here's Tolbert. Tolbert at the top of the ring now. Going to rub off a screen. Nope, swings it near side now to Dixon. Dixon loads up the triple. Rebound. John Bedian had great position, and Anella just climbed his back.
Yeah, great position there from John Bedian. Usually I'm one of the bigger guys in the court, and so when you have someone like him boxing out, Paul, that's just really a great effort play, culture thing that the Kingsmen have right now for John Bedian.
And now to inbound will be Peyton Miami, gives it out to Ethan Good. And Ethan tells Peyton, get down there. I'll take this thing.
That's what a great point guard does. They clear it out and really just beat the press themselves.
There's a steal from the backside, a drive, a shot, and a score for Dixon. 36-27, 2:40 to go here in regulation. Here is Caleb Kuhlman with the basketball now. One-on-one against Carter Johnston. Into the half-court set as Kuhlman goes now here to Miamba. Now back out to the top to Ethan Good. Good. Throws it away.
And you see right now, Penn has a 9-point lead, but they're playing a little tight with it. And Adams is very much being the aggressors, and you see the energy that they have. Their bench is up, they're cheering, that type of thing. And so if you're Penn, you got to kind of, Coach Coleman, you got to tell your guys, yeah, be smart, but still be aggressive. It's only a 9-point game, and you guys are smart enough players. So if you guys can get great looks, but don't force anything trying to be too fancy.
Peyton Miyama comes out of the ballgame, and Alexander Hawthorne, the senior 6'2" wing player, comes back into the game. I think that's going to be for ball handling scenarios. Now the ball here on the near side. Now ball, and that's got to be a traveling call. Nothing they say. Check that. Tolbert stepped on the inline.
So great defense there by Kuhlman, just keeping his hands up, not getting a blocking foul, sliding his feet, and Tolbert just slipped and then stepped on the end line as he was laying on the floor while he touched the ball.
Ethan Good checks out, and Peyton Miyama back on to the planks here on the Hadaway Shack floor. Peyton Miyama, who started all 17 games this season for the Kingsmen. And gives way to Caleb Kuhlman. Kuhlman, a freshman, who's also started all 17 games. He zigzags his way into the half-court set. Guarded by Carter Johnston. Ball into the far corner, Lucas Obermeyer. 1:53 to go in regulation. Goes to the low post now. Peyton Miyama back to Obermeyer. Back out to the top. Hawthorne goes back to Miyamba. Miyamba looks for the wraparound. Somebody's going to come and help. They'll go out to the top to Bedian. Back in the corner to Hawthorne. Wide open three. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 39-27. That could be a backbreaker for the Eagles.
Yeah, there are some things that are consistent in life, Paul, and one of those things is an Alexander Hawthorne three.
Over here on the near side wing. Now Tolbert will try to answer the three. Off the iron. No good. Great box out again by John Bedian of Penn. And now Caleb Kuhlman and company are into the half-court set with some breathing room. Caleb now in between the rings. Goes to Obermeyer. Obermeyer threw it across court. Somebody
looked like it was tipped, Paul. It was tipped.
Somebody looked like they were supposed to zig when they were supposed to zag, or zag when they were supposed to zig, one or the other.
It was a fortunate tip at that, but the Kingsmen retain possession of the ball.
Penn will be on the road tomorrow at Goshen. Home game against Marion. And then a game against South Bend, Washington. We'll have two of the next three. Eagles are going to be on the road at St. Joe. Here's Kuhlman, goes into the corner to Peyton Miyamba. His three is off the rim, no good. Obermeyer goes after the rebound, but it's finally wrestled away by Kalen Allen. Now the ball slapped away from behind by Obermeyer. Steal Penn. And then back the other way. Here's Peyton Miyamba driving to the goal, and he was fouled.
And yeah, just again being aggressive there for the Kingsmen. They're up 12 right now. 38 seconds remaining in this game, Paul. And it's looking like the Kingsmen might be able to pull away with this one.
And that, with a win here tonight, they're going to improve to 4-0 in the Northern Indiana Conference. As Peyton Miyama is going to try to seal the deal here now. Free throw, no good. You know, normally, you've seen my running score sheet on a legal piece of paper. I may finish this entire game in one column.
That's impressive, Paul. There's no shot clock, so we'll blame it on that.
Yeah. The free throws are no good, but Kingsman grabbed the ball, and they'll keep possession.
And it's going to be bonus time this time, Paul.
And Caleb Kuhlman will go to the charity stripe. A productive game for him. Certainly not where he's normally at when in the scoring column. Comes in averaging 17 points and 6 rebounds. But he has done all the little things that has put his team in a position to win the game. He's rebounded the ball. He's been a great facilitator of the entire ball game and played great defense. And the talented freshman will knock down a pair of tosses here.
Yeah, Paul, it's what separates good players from great players is can you still contribute without scoring the ball?
Here's a jump shot from the near wing. No, but Kuhlman looks like he fouled Tolbert, and if that's gonna be the case, that's gonna be 3 free throws for Tolbert.
Yeah, do you see, just frustration out of Caleb Kuhlman, knowing that he shouldn't have jumped at that three-point play, but a really good draw play, baseline runner for Tolbert to get to the corner.
Barrick is telling the official that he kicked his own feet out from underneath her.
I call it, that's the Zach Miller special.
Oh, my goodness. Zach Miller could do that. He's in the Bethel University Hall of Fame because of his ability to get 4-point plays. 27.4 seconds to go. Kingsmen are going to earn their 10th win of the season here tonight. Eagles are going to fall to 9-7 and 0-4 in the league. As the free throw is good, it now makes it 41-29. Here's Kuhlman. He had it slapped away through the triple team. Three-point bomb on the way by Tolbert. No good rebound. Kuhlman got the rebound. And there's the breakout. Lucas Obermeyer will drive and score. 43-29, Kingsman. On the drive from right to left and up and under and a score. Nice play for Drew Dixon. 43-31. And the ball's knocked away, and that's going to do it. 4 quarters are in the books, and it's a Penn win tonight on the road at the Hathaway Shack. The Eagles fall to 9-7 and 0-4 in the Northern Indiana Conference. The visitors from Osceola earn win number 10 against 7 setbacks, but most importantly, a perfect 4-0 in the Northern Indiana Conference. We'll be back with more right after this timeout on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Your Chevy event is on now. And start your new year with a bang. Bigger Chevy selection. Bigger Chevy savings. More for your trade. Upgrade your ride and get up to $10,000 off new Silverados. Or rates as low as 0% and don't pay till spring. It's a new year. Drive home a 24 Equinox for $279 a month. Banks are on full credit alert for this event. The Upgrade Your Chevy event is on now. Only at Gates, Mishawaka, and South Bend.
All right, glad you joined us here today on Regional Radio Sports for this one. So Chad Johnston, the longtime veteran coach here locally, who's been varsity head coach for 23 seasons. He was trying to go to be 100 games over 500. That's not going to be the case here tonight, as the Kingsmen pick up a big win on the road. The one thing that jumps off the page is we just didn't have a lot of fouls tonight, and the officials allowed the guys to play. It was the best officiated game I've seen at the high school or college level tonight. In addition to that, I think it was one of the most entertaining games because guys got down in defensive stances and they moved their feet. Guys were boxing out. All these fundamental things that I think that makes the basketball a tremendous game in its purest form. It certainly wasn't going to woo anybody by any stretch of the imagination in this one, but to my case in point, you look at personal fouls. 11 fouls whistled on the Eagles and 10 on the Kingsmen. And if you can do that, and then the turnovers, 9 on the Eagles and 11 on the Kingsmen. And I was going to say the majority of those probably came in the fourth quarter when the game kind of got a little helter-skelter, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right, Paul. The way I'll describe this game is it was a great battle, a gritty battle. It was kind of similar to how I feel right now. A little ugly, a little messed up, but kind of grinding through anyway. I think both teams defensively played really well. Offensively, the shots weren't necessarily falling for either teams, both inside and out. Both star players kind of took them a little bit to get going. You see Tolbert ended up with 15, but not really their typical type scoring outings. Just kind of feeling a little meh. And the Kingsmen proven that they can win an ugly basketball game, which I think is huge.
No Kingsmen's in double figures tonight. First time I've seen that the entire year. But look at the balance. Miamba with 9, Price with 4, Bonner Bedient with 4, Obermeyer with 4, Hawthorne with 9, Good with 7, Caleb Kuhlman with 6 points. But let me talk about Caleb Kuhlman. Had 5 rebounds, 5 assists. when it's all said and done. But you look at the playing time in this one, just as you would expect, the two big guns were out there all the time. Jarvis Tolbert played 32 minutes tonight. Caleb Kuhlman played 31 minutes and some change. You had your two best players on the floor the majority of the time. And the neat thing about it is they're both underclassmen.
Yeah.
We'll get a chance to watch them play again next year. All right, take a look at our final numbers. First of all, for the Eagles, they end up shooting 31%, only 15% from three-point range. They were 2 of 13. 5 of 7 from the line, 71%. Kingsman, 42% from the field, 35% from three-point range, and 43% at the line. Not a good day for the Kingsmen at the line, only going 3 of 7. In the rebound department, total rebounds, the Kingsmen out-rebounded the Eagles 31 to 22. Assists, the Eagles only had 5 helpers the whole night. 11 helpers for the visiting team. You'll take a look at our final scoring in the game. Take it away.
Yeah, so you kind of went over already the Kingsman scoring, very spread out, but then looking at the Adams scoring, Carter Johnston with 3 points, Lamont Jones with 2 points, Drew Dixon ended up with 11 points, and then Jarvis Tolbert had 15 points and 5 rebounds for the junior. So really good game for the Adams, and then, spread out scoring for the Kingsmen. No one in double figures, but everyone kind of sharing the ball. We go over it quickly. Kuhlman 6 points, Good 7 points, Hawthorne 9, Obermeyer 4, Bedient 4, Mikhail Price 4, Peyton Miamba with 9 as well. Really spread out. So it makes this Kingsman team so dangerous, Paul, as we head into February.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our broadcast. Once again, special thanks to our coaches who spent time with us today, Barrett Kuhlman as well as Chad Johnson. It's always great to visit with both two longtime friends and Bethel guys. Always great to be a part of that. Don't forget, we'll be back with you again with more Penn basketball. And coming up on Thursday when they take on the Marion Knights, and then, of course, on Saturday against the Washington Panthers out at the Great Western Forum. I believe that's it. And we do have a final. Marion beat Washington tonight, 66-51. And so we'll look forward to continuing on our coverage of high school and college sports. Keep it locked in at www.rrsn.com for the best in local NEI coverage of college basketball and, of course, high school sports as well. For Tanya Condry, as well as Andrew Kirksey, Tanner Camp, and for Ryan Lutz, I'm Paul Condry. Thanks for being a part of our evening. And once again, I appreciate you hanging with us through our nasty winter colds. We'll be better because of it. For all of us at Regional Radio Sports, God bless you all. Good night, everyone.
Why do more students choose Ivy Tech Community College over any other school? Ivy Tech offers flexibility, a wide variety of programs, and thousands of classes, including online options. Our certificates and degrees get students into a great career quickly. And if you want an affordable path to a bachelor's degree, we have guaranteed admissions programs with most four-year universities in Indiana. So you can start at Ivy Tech and transfer as a junior. Ready for a great education at the lowest cost? Complete a free application today.
Grade Your Ride event is on now. Choose from 1,000 vehicles and start your new year with a bang. Kate's has over 100 Equinoxes from $199 a month. And no payments till spring. All at Gates, all month long. What a sale.